What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Mark Roden, and today we are going to be doing my two favorite cars from every single car company from the land of Japan. I want to make this very clear. These are just the important car companies. So things like Suzuki, Daihatsu, Datsun, those are not going to be in here. I think they're kind of like second nature to the other ones. On top of that, I have separated Lexus from Toyota, even though they're technically the same thing. I have separated them just to make the video a little bit longer with a little bit more interesting brands in there. But yeah, I was gonna do just one, like my favorite car of every brand. But I was like, a couple of them, I was like, I can't decide between this car and this car. So I decided I'd just take my two favorite from every brand. So we have brands like, all the brands that we're going to be doing today are Toyota, Lexus, Nissan, Infiniti, Mazda, Mitsubishi, Subaru, Honda, and Acura. Those are the brands that we're going to be going over. And I'm going to be talking about my two favorite cars from each brand, so that people can kind of get the grand old idea of what Mark Roden likes. I will say which one I think I like better when I'm talking about it, and I obviously will say why I like them. But I just want to make this also very known. This isn't like a spoiler or anything like that, but don't expect my taste to be like super unique. You know, I kind of like the basic cars. The cars that everybody else likes, I usually like them too. Everybody likes them for a reason, and usually that reason falls into the same reason as mine. And so a lot of these cars, you probably will be like, oh yeah, I saw that coming. But without further ado, let's start with Toyota. Toyota, my favorite by far is the Soarer Z30, which is technically like the SC300 to us, but even better because it had a 1JZ GTE in it. I love that car with all my itchy litchy heart, dude. If I could have a Soarer, I would absolutely take a Soarer. Sorry about that, I needed a drink break, but yeah, if I could take a Soarer, I absolutely would. Even the Soarer Z20 and the Z10s are both really cool cars as well, in my opinion. I really like them. I don't know why. They're like these luxury cars, but they look sporty and they look really good. They have great engines in them, so I really like them. But the honorable mention, the second Toyota that I like very close to the Soarer, is the Mark 5 Supra. I know it's very weird, very random of a car, and not a lot of people are even going to call this a Toyota because it came with a BMW engine. Well, guess what? BMW is my favorite brand ever, so I guess that works out for me. I don't know. I like the Mark 5 Supra a lot. I like its looks. I like how it's still offered with a manual transmission. I like its name, how it carries a Supra nameplate. I like it. I like it a lot. I've seen them in person. I think they're absolutely beautiful. Another car that I do want to mention really quick that didn't quite make the cut, but I do really like it a lot, is the 6th generation Toyota Celica GT4, which is the one with the spider eyes. I love that car a lot. It's really cool, but that's not one of my two favorites. But yeah, the Mark 5 Supra is definitely second to the Soarer. It's really not that close of a battle, but it's just because the Soarer is so good, not because the Mark 5 Supra is bad. It's just that Soarer, I just love it. I don't know why, it's just such a guilty pleasure, but it's one of my favorite cars of all time. But anyway, coming in next is Mazda. If you're a fan of this channel, you already know what my favorite is, and that is the RX-7 FD. The RX-7 FD is not only my favorite Mazda, it is my favorite car ever. I love everything about it. I love the fact that it's unique with a rotary. I love the sounds that it makes. I love its handling. It handles really, really well. Yeah, and most importantly, out of everything, I love the looks. I think it's the most beautiful car, besides maybe like the McLaren P1. I think the McLaren P1 is absolutely beautiful. But besides the McLaren P1, the FD RX-7 is probably the best looking car I've ever seen in my life. The pop-up headlights, I love when taillights connect. Like, I like that a lot. I think that looks really cool. Like, I like it on the Chargers. The Chargers taillights connect. I like that. I think that's really cool. And on top of that, the taillights are like tinted from factory. It has that little spoiler. I love the FD RX-7. But the honorable mention, the second place, which is nowhere close to the FD RX-7 because the FD is just that much better than everything else in the world, but it is the ND Miata. I know, that's a little bit of a weird one. People are probably like, what? Why does he like the ND? I think it's an absolutely wonderful car. I really do. It's pretty much only a little bit heavier than the NA Miatas, but with significantly more horsepower. It's just a much better Miata. It's also way more modern, obviously, so it has all the modern technology in it. I think it looks super aggressive, which is really cool. I love the ND Miata. I think it's absolutely perfect. I wouldn't change a thing about the ND. Yes, I like the ND 10 times better than I like the NA. Yes, I like the ND way better than I like the NB, the NC. I love the ND Miata. I think it's very, very underrated. Very, very cool car. But next up, we are going to be talking about the wonderful Subaru family, my Subaru boys. My favorite Subaru by far is, once again, a little bit of a random one. It's the WRX STi Blobeye. Yeah, the Blobeye WRX. I don't know what it is, man. It's just that face, that front face that I love so much about it. I think it looks incredible. I really like it. There's not much else I can say about it. I mean, I like its rally heritage. I think that's really cool. I like the fact that it's a sedan. It comes with a flat 4 instead of like a normal inline 4, which is cool. But yeah, I mean, it's just a really cool car. No, I don't like the 22B STi over it. I understand the 22B STi over it is a more legendary car, but I personally just like the WRX better. And then my second place, my honorable mention, which is kind of close, to be honest. They are kind of interchangeable here. It is without a doubt the first generation of the Subaru BRZ. The second gen, the new one that just came out, I think looks too bubbly. I don't like it at all. The first gen looks awesome. It looks aggressive. It's lightweight, and so you can rip it around corners a lot, and it's nimble. It looks really, really cool. It's good on gas. It's all the 9 yards. It's a naturally aspirated Subaru, so you don't have that many issues with it. I love it. I love the first gen BRZ. I don't know if I'd buy one though. They're a little expensive for my liking. I think I'd wait for them to drop down in price. But let's go straight to the rivals of Subaru with Mitsubishi. I actually am an Evo boy over a WRX boy all day, and so of course my favorite Mitsubishi is the EVO IX MR. It's pretty much the last Evo that they made before the EVO 10, and I do like the EVO 10. I think it's a really cool car. However, I love that freaking 4G63, dude, and it's just like, if I were to buy an Evo, I'm buying a 4G63. The EVO 9 is like obviously the most revised one. It's the newest one, so it's the fastest one, and I also think it looks the best too. I think it looks the most aggressive. Honestly, any Evo 8, 9, or 7 would be fine with me. I like them all. They all share pretty much the same body style, but the EVO 9 MR is just absolutely the best one. And then for the honorable mention for Mitsubishi, it is without a doubtski the wonderful Mitsubishi Eclipse GSX, which is a second generation, not the first gen GSX, a second gen GSX, a 2G Eclipse, the one that Brian O'Connor drove, the green one from Fast and Furious. That car, dude, is so slept on. I love it. It's pretty much a pocket Evo. It's all-wheel drive, has the same motor as the Evo, albeit with a little bit of a down tune on it, obviously. But still, incredible, incredible car. So slept on. It looks so good too. Oh, the one bad part about those second-gen Eclipses is that they are hard to find in good condition. Almost everybody that owns them is like some crackhead that like uses it for freaking, I don't know, punching people, and it's just not the best condition. But I still really like them. Overpriced as hell though. Those GSXs are becoming stupidly overpriced, but whatever. Next up is Lexus, which is pretty much just a fancy version of Toyota for anybody wondering. They're just Toyotas that we got in America as Lexuses. My favorite is, this is the reason why I made two cars, because this one is a complete tie. I cannot choose between either the LC500 or the Lexus RC F. Both of these cars I think are wonderful, wonderful cars. I love them so freaking much, and I cannot choose. Like, if I was going for like luxury, I would buy the LC500, but if I'm going for straight up track performance, I'd buy the RCF. But then again, it's like I never know, like one day I'd like this version and one day I like that version, so it's like, I don't know, it's impossible to choose between the two. I think they're both absolutely incredible cars. They both serve kind of different purposes though, and so you got to ask yourself which kind of person you are. But I love the LC500. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Its body lines work so well. It's really luxurious, but it's not as fast, whereas the RCF is significantly faster around a track. It has a much more aggressive rather than like elegant body style, and it's not as luxurious. So it's kind of like a pick your poison, but I don't know. If I had to choose, I'd probably choose the LC500, but I like them both so much. Next up is Acura, which is pretty much just a fancy version of Honda, the version of Honda in America. And my favorite Acura is without a doubt the NSX NA1. I mean, come on, you knew it was coming. It's everybody's favorite for a reason. I absolutely love it. It's literally a Ferrari made by Honda. And yes, for those wondering, I'm not going to include the NSX for Honda as well, because even though the NSX is my favorite Honda, I want to change it up. But I only wanted to add it in one, either Acura or Honda, so I put it in Acura. But the NSX, dude, is gorgeous. It is wonderful. It has a freaking inline 4 or freaking V6 in it, and it handles amazingly. It's reliable because it's a Honda. It's literally a Ferrari for half the price of a Ferrari made by Honda, and it's just absolutely wonderful. I love it so much. And then the honorable mention is my car's older brother, or younger brother? Yeah, I guess younger brother, the RSX Type S. Now, we never got a Type R RSX, which kind of sucks, but the Type S I think is still really cool in my opinion. 200 horsepower, K-series motor under the hood. Looks are pretty nice, I think. It's pretty much a modern version of this car, and I love this car. So if I like this car, I'd probably like the RSX driving it. And it's just a really nice, well-rounded vehicle. There's not that much competition that Acura has, to be honest. They only have like the TL, which are once again really cool cars, but that's about it. And so the RSX kind of easily gets this place, but at the same time, I think I still would have put it here even if they had like other really high horsepower cool cars like that. Anyway, Honda though, let's go into the actual company Honda, and my favorite car from Honda is the S2000. I mean, come on, bro. Did I even have to explain this to people? Why do I have to explain to an S2000 is made by Honda, okay? And here you are, it's the early 2000s. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna make a sports car. And they're like, okay, well, you've made sports cars before. Like, we like, they're cool, but like, let's try something new. And they do. They give us an inline four like every other Honda, but it now has 237 horsepower. It's rear wheel drive. It's a convertible only. It is a through and through sports car. And I love it for that. I love the S2000. I think it's absolutely perfect. Now, the honorable mention, or the second place, is my car. It's the Honda Integra Type R. Obviously, it's significantly faster, a much better version of the car that I'm driving right now, but I love everything about this car. And so if I love everything about this car, then chances are I'm going to love everything about the Type R version of this car. So that's why I put it there. I love it. There's nothing I could say wrong with the Type R. Also, the Type Rs in Japan, most of them came with the fixed headlights instead of the spider headlights, and I like that a lot better as well. So what can I say, man? But yeah, next is moving on to Nissan, which is by far my favorite Japanese brand. I think they have an insane lineup, and this was incredibly hard to choose just two from, and even the two that I did choose from are very interchangeable. But I would say on any given day, if I was forced to choose just one of them, my favorite Nissan would be the Nissan Sileighty. The Nissan Sileighty is like this weird, not a lot of people even heard of this car before. It's like a weird little hybrid car of the S13 Coupe and the S13 hatch, and I think that it just works perfectly. It has a hatch, oh my, it has a hatch rear end, but the Coupe front end, and it looks just so sexy. It's obviously pretty much exactly the same as the S13 in terms of like what it has for performance, but its body style is significantly different, and I think the looks are unbelievably good, incredible. And I'm usually a pop-up headlights kind of guy, but there's, I mean, nothing can top that Sileighty front end. That is just so good looking, man. The second place car, by the way, I want to make this also really clear. Nissan, even though I said before BMW is my favorite brand, they are my favorite brand, but Nissan is pretty much tied with them, to be honest. Like, I love Nissan. I think they do incredible work. So it was really hard to choose. So don't get angry that your favorite Nissan isn't here. But my second favorite Nissan is the R35 GTR. Yes, the R30, I like the R35 way better than I like any sort of like R34, R32. I know it's like, oh, well, you're not cultured if you like the new car over the old true OGs. I get that, man, but listen, I am my own person, okay? Let me like what I like. The R35 GTR is the newest one. It's the fastest one, and I think it looks the best. I love it. I love the R35 GTR so much. I've seen them in person, and I can tell you, oh my god, in person they look like supercars. They don't look like sports cars, and I love that about it. They are just so cool, and I love them so much. I would love to have an R35 GTR one day, and they're like cheaper than the R32s and R34s, which is mind-blowing. Like, I was on brand new GTR with 600 horsepower, cheaper than the ones that are like 20 years old with only 270 horsepower. Weird, but I love it. I love the R35. It's absolutely my second favorite without a doubt, but there are some others, like for example the 350Z, 300ZX, S14, S15. Oh, how did I forget about the S15? Oh, they have such a good lineup, dude. Even like their Nissan Laurels and Safiros are cool ass cars. The Nissan Maximas are even cool. The Pulsar, the Sentras, they have so many cool cars. But anyway, coming in with it, the very final one of this list with Infiniti. Infiniti is once again just like Acura and Lexus, Nissan's luxury brand over here in America, where we just get rebadged versions of different cars, but they do have significantly less models available to them, especially like sports cars. But I will say my favorite Infiniti is without a doubt the Q60. How could you not like this car? I get if you're not like a Nissan fan, if you don't like VQs or whatever, but this car doesn't even come with a VQ, and it's just incredible. It really is. It's an incredible car that has everything. It's like the LC500, but significantly cheaper, right? It's really good in luxury. It's really fast in a straight line. It can handle very well. It looks really nice. It's reliable as hell, but it's still cool, and it's somehow cheaper than the LC500. I love the Q60 so much with all my heart, but there is a very close second, in my opinion. This guy's truck smells like gas, but there is a very close second, in my opinion, and that is the G35 Coupe. I have a 350Z, in case you don't know, so I have a VQ, so I am a little bit of a VQ fanboy. But the G35 Coupe is, I mean, I don't like it better than the 350Z personally, but it is like kind of like just a better 350Z. You get more seats, more luxury, and pretty much the exact same thing as the 350Z. And what is there not to like about that? I mean, 300 horsepower in a car that costs less than $5,000 with 4 seats and is actually kind of luxurious and reliable. You can't really get much better than that. That is an incredible car. I love the G35 Coupe. I was gonna put the G37 Coupe here, but I kind of thought it was kind of too close to the Q60 almost, because they are kind of similar. As a matter of fact, there was even a point where the G37 Coupe was actually called the Q60 before they changed it over to the Q60, which is kind of weird. But yeah, I love them. For anybody that's overseas, these are pretty much Skylines to you. They're not Infinitis, but I like Infiniti a lot. It's, like I said, pretty much just Nissans, but rebadged, and I like Nissans, so I love Infiniti. But yeah, that's it. Those are all my 2 favorite cars from every JDM or Japanese car brand that actually matters under the sun. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more. I am going right in there, so it's literally perfect timing, because I'm going to get my hair cut. Yay! Marky getting haircut. Hopefully they have an opening, because I need my haircut, man. My hair is looking like a mop. But yeah, let me know if you guys enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. Let me see what other videos that you'd like to see down below. And without further ado, das vidanya. Have a nice night.